Welcome to the Woman Warriors podcast, where we're working to help you call a truce with your anxiety. The information in this podcast is not a substitute for seeking help from a licensed mental health professional. Now, here's your host, Elizabeth Cush, LCPC.
Hi, this is Elizabeth, your host. Welcome back to the Woman Warriors podcast for episode number 47. We're celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the podcast. I'm really super excited. I can't believe it's been a year, which blows my mind. And I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who has supported me and all my listeners and subscribers and followers on social media. You can find Woman Warriors on Facebook and Instagram. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about the podcast and why I love doing it. And we're going to share the top 5 episodes of this past year. So, woohoo! So the first year has been fun, exciting. I've had some pretty amazing conversations. I think it really brings home to me in these conversations with meditation teachers, therapists, helpers in other lines of work that oftentimes trauma is what's hiding behind the anxiety, whether it's outright like sexual assault or physical violence or emotional abuse. Sometimes it's emotional neglect from parents. So that's really been sort of the message that has hit home for me when doing this. But I also have really just enjoyed so much the conversations with people who are passionate about helping others. And that's really been a joy. So what was the first year like? It was hard. I must admit, sometimes it's hard to fit the time in to record and edit and promote it on social media, but the rewards are pretty great. I've had people reach out. I've had people contact me from other countries. Pretty amazing. So I just want to say thanks again in gratitude. I appreciate all of the support and love that I've gotten. So what were the top 5 episodes this year? There were some not surprising, some a little surprising, only in that one of the top 5 episodes was one of my first interviews where I was really just getting the hang of the whole podcasting thing. And so that's very validating. So number 5 was my interview with Allison Puryear in episode 14. To me, her story that, anxiety, yeah, it can kick your ass, but she's made it work for her. In this episode, we talk about the different ways of thinking about and reacting to anxiety. Allison Puryear is a counselor who specializes in treating women with eating disorders, sexual trauma, and anxiety, and she also coaches therapists who are going into private practice. And she shared her own journey with anxiety and how it's helped her to grow and become a better business coach, therapist, and mom, and partner. So that's episode 14, and that was number 5 in all-around downloads. Episode number 2, and this was the episode I was talking about earlier, was with Nicole Burgess. It was my second interview for the podcast, and I was still pretty green. Not that I'm that much less green now, but I was definitely still figuring it out. She was talking about the mother-daughter relationship and how parenting can be such a challenge, that we as mothers feel such tremendous pressure to be good mothers, good wives, good employees, and more. And that can create a lot of anxiety. She's a marriage and family therapist and life coach, And she talks about how anxiety can show up in the family dynamic, especially in the mother-daughter relationship. So you can tune into that. That's episode 2 if you'd like to hear more about that, if you haven't listened already. My third top download for the year was episode 26 with April Snow. We talked about highly sensitive people. What is a highly sensitive person and how you can support them. Maybe you're easily overstimulated or quick to feel anxious. Maybe you've been told you're too emotional. Maybe you're the first to know that something's not quite right with a friend. If so, you may be highly sensitive. I talked with April Snow, a San Francisco-based psychotherapist and a highly sensitive person, and we talk about what it's like to live with this common and often under-recognized trait, how to recognize it in yourself, and tips and tools so you can stay ahead of the anxiety and overwhelm and take care of yourself. So that's episode 26. The second most downloaded episode of the year was my conversation with Sharon Martin on codependency, and that's episode 17. So if you have trouble deciding where you want to eat dinner because you're more aware of where everyone else wants to go, then this episode is for you. I talk with Sharon, a San Francisco Bay Area counselor and author of the Happily Imperfect blog, and now author of an amazing book on perfectionism, the title of which is not at the forefront of my mind, but there's another episode interviewing her about her book. But we talk about codependence and its costs, including how constantly worrying about others can cause you to lose your sense of self. We also talk about what's necessary to move past codependency and some tips on how to get there. And the number one downloaded episode for the past year is not a surprise, only because this therapist is a highly regarded author and researcher, but also I think her message is so relevant and really can touch a lot of women. But it's Dr. Jonice Webb, and we explore childhood emotional neglect and the impact it can have on adulthood. You might not ever have been abused or traumatized as a child, and yet you often feel empty, disconnected, angry, or anxious. So why? What happened? Often it's as much about what didn't happen for you when you were growing up, about not having your emotional needs met. I talk with Dr. Jonice Webb, author of Running on Empty and Running on Empty No More, about the impact of childhood emotional neglect and why it's never too late to start healing yourself and your relationships. So that's episode 12. If you wanted to tune into that, you can also find her books at Amazon.com. Very exciting. I have enjoyed every single conversation I've had. Those are just the top 5 downloads. Of 10,000 downloads, we have had over, I sort of forgot to mention that at the very beginning, the podcast has had over 10,000 unique downloads. That's just amazing. Blows my mind. Again, such a surprise, but feeling so grateful. And with that, feeling grateful, I wanted to offer all of you listeners a gratitude meditation, because feeling grateful can increase positive feelings about yourself and others and just ground you in gratitude. This is a meditation from Jack Kornfield, and it just felt like the right meditation to offer today. So if you're listening at home or in a place where you can sit comfortably with your eyes closed, feet on the floor, preferably not driving a car, get yourself comfortable, sit quietly and at ease. Allow your body to be relaxed and open, your breath natural, your heart easy. Begin the practice of gratitude by feeling how year after year you have cared for your own life. Now let yourself begin to acknowledge all that has supported you in this care. You can say to yourself, with gratitude, I remember the people, animals, plants, insects, creatures of the sky and sea and air and water, fire and earth, all whose joyful exertion blesses my life every day. With gratitude, I remember the care and labor of 1,000 generations of elders and ancestors who came before me. I offer my gratitude for the safety and well-being I have been given. I offer my gratitude for the blessing of this earth I have been given. I offer my gratitude for the measure of health I have been given. I offer my gratitude for the family and friends I have been given. I offer my gratitude for the community that I have been given. I offer my gratitude for the teachings and lessons I have been given. I offer my gratitude for the life I have been given. Just as we are grateful for our blessings, so we can be grateful for the blessings of others. Continue to breathe gently. Bring to mind someone you care about, someone it is easy to rejoice for. Picture them and feel the natural joy you have for their well-being and for their happiness and success. With each breath, offer them your grateful, heartfelt wishes. May you be joyful. May your happiness increase. May you not be separated from great happiness. May your good fortune and the causes for your joy and happiness increase. Sense the sympathetic joy and caring in each phrase. May you be joyful. May your happiness increase. May you not be separated from great happiness. May your good fortune and the causes for your joy and happiness increase. When you feel some degree of gratitude for the happiness of this loved one, extend this practice to another person you care about. Recite the same simple phrases that express your heart's intention. May you be joyful. May your happiness increase. May you not be separated from great happiness. May your good fortune and the causes for your joy and happiness increase. Gradually, you can open the meditation to include neutral people, people that enter your life without much emotional stimulation or a lot of feeling around them. Just, maybe somebody you bump into occasionally at the store or out and about at the post office. But you can also extend this to difficult people and even your enemies until you extend the sympathetic joy to all beings everywhere, young, old, near, and far. You can repeat the phrases, may you be joyful, may your happiness increase, may you not be separated from great happiness, and may your good fortune and the causes for your joy and happiness increase. Practice dwelling in the joy until the deliberate effort of practice drops away and the intentions of joy blend into the natural joy of your own wise heart. Well, I am so grateful to all of you who have tuned in week after week and supported me, family, friends, colleagues who have supported this journey of podcasting, and all of you who have made it the success that it is. So 1 year later, more than 10,000 downloads. I am grateful, honored, filled with joy. I look forward to another year of podcasting, another year of amazing conversations, and another year of offering some calm in this chaotic world, some ease to your anxieties, and some compassion for where you are in this moment. I hope that you all have a wonderful week. Ciao for now from this woman warrior.
Thanks for listening and subscribing to the Woman Warriors podcast. Music was written and performed by Andy Cush. If you'd like more information on this episode, you can find the show notes, the resources shared today, and links to the guests' profiles at womanwarriors.com.